Hey, what's up everyone? I am a completely new player to the Diablo franchise. I've never played a Diablo game before. My first experience is Diablo 4, which we're playing right now, and I thought it might be a good idea to create this video, which is like a new player guide to Diablo for people like me that have never ever picked up a Diablo game. I'm aiming to cover in this video a bit of a recap of the franchise all the way back to 1997 when Diablo was first launched, all the way up to now 2023 Diablo 4. So we're going to give you a quick recap on that, and then I aim to explain the game to you, what the game mechanics are and what the aims are, giving you sort of some tips and advice on how you're going to be going through Diablo and what the game entails. I hope this video is helpful for those like myself that have never played this game before. That's the aim of today. If it is, please be sure to hit like and share to support the video. Subscribe for more Diablo content from me, but most importantly, our community right now is buzzing around this game. If you are playing Diablo 4 and you want some help with it, or you want to join a clan, you just need people to ask questions, it's a great place to be in our community right now. It's linked at the top of the video description. Once you're finished with the video, go and check it out by going to click the link. So first, let's give you a recap on Diablo. Now, obviously, this is not coming from me. I've had to do some research. And a huge shout out to mmorpg.com, where I'm getting all this information from. I'll link the source down in the video description if you want to go and have a read for yourselves. So I'm just going to go through basically their little recap that they've put on that website. And it explains the world of Diablo as well. So the world of Diablo is centered around the war between the angels of the high heavens and the demons of the burning hells. Angels and demons who were tired of the war decided to create Sanctuary, a world open to both demons and angels. The children of the angels and demons of Sanctuary are known as Nephilim, and their descendants are humans. There are 7 great evils that preside over the burning hells, and Diablo, Lord of Terror, is the primary antagonist of the series. Diablo eventually becomes the prime evil by absorbing the other great evils, including 2 siblings. He poses a major threat, and it is up to us to put an end to the reign of terror. So Diablo is on screen now. I've had to find this stock footage for you. This was released in 1997. The game is that old. And with the first title, it was basically the battle between angels and demons, where it came to a stalemate, and the demons of hell were looking for an advantage. The Lords of Hell decided to influence the mortal realm, Sanctuary, to gain power, and Diablo was trapped in a monastery. Several generations passed, and the town of Tristan was born near to the monastery. The ruler King Leoric decided to build a cathedral where the monastery once stood, and it gave Diablo the opportunity to manipulate the Archbishop Lazarin into destroying the Soul Stone prison. Diablo then seizes control of the king and starts a war in the kingdoms. Tristan becomes a lawless land, and that is where our journey begins as the protagonist. Upon starting the game, we are joined by Deckard Cain and other townsfolk who assist us. We eventually subdue the evils that surround the lands. At the end of Diablo, we manage to capture the Soul Stone and contain Diablo within ourselves. The hero that put an end to Diablo's reign ended up being possessed, and it led to the events of Diablo 2. There is also a note that says Diablo 1's ending was retconned in Diablo 2. It was changed again when Diablo 3 was released. Diablo 3 established that the hero that contained Diablo was the eldest son of Leoric, Prince Aidan. So moving on to Diablo 2. The hero Prince Aidan, who contained Diablo in the first game, was corrupted by Diablo. The Lord of Terror managed to free Mephisto and Baal, and we were back to square one. This time, a band of adventurers arrive at Rogue encampment and lend their aid. We play as one of the adventurers and try to find out why the hero failed in the previous game. It is revealed that the Soul Stones were meant to imprison the prime evils. We rescue Deckard Cain and start following the Dark Wanderer, who is the lesser evil. During our adventures, we manage to defeat Mephisto and Diablo and destroy the Soul Stones. The expansion, Lord of Destruction, lets us fight Baal. Tyrell, the Archangel of Justice, arrives and congratulates us on our victory. He destroys the World Stone, the tool that was used to create Sanctuary, and the implications of Tyrell's decision were unknown at the time, and it was explored in Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was released in 2012, which was 12 years after Diablo 2, which was 2000. They did do a Diablo 2 Resurrected though as well, which updated all the graphics and made it look so much better. I think that was 2021. But in Diablo 3, the game is set 20 years after the final events of Diablo 2. A mysterious star falls from the skies and strikes the Tristram Cathedral, and Deckard Cain seemingly disappears. In Diablo 3, we play the role of a Nephilim with great powers and are tasked with investigating the fallen star. We run into Cain's Rawlesh, who accompanies us during the prologue. We manage to rescue Cain and find out that we need to go through the Skeleton King, formerly King Leoric, to investigate the fallen star. We succeed at taking down Leoric and finding a stranger who lost her memories. He has a broken sword of angelic origin, and we discover that the stranger is actually the Archangel Tyrell. Tyrell arrived at the sanctuary because the other angels were reluctant to help humans, which made the Archangel relinquish his divinity and aid us. After many adventures, we arrive at the high heavens with Tyrell and find out that the place is under attack by demons. We meet various aspects of the heavens, including Imperius, the aspect of valor. After being tasked with closing the hell rifts that were open in the high heavens, we try to stop Diablo from reaching the crystal arch, which gives the high heavens its power. We manage to defeat Diablo's physical form, and Tyrell becomes a new aspect of wisdom, but he chooses not to become an angel and retains his mortality to form a connection with humans. The story is continued in Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, and the essence of all 7 great evils is contained in a black soulstone. The artifact is sealed below the tomb of Rakis, but the plane fails as Baal managed to corrupt Archangel Mephael, who steals the black soulstone. After trying to uncover what happened to the black soulstone, we discover that Mephael intends to consume all demonic essence in Sanctuary. We end up fighting Mephael, who destroys the stone and consumes the power of all 7 evils. While we defeat the former Archangel, the 7 evils are freed. And that brings us on to Diablo 4 in 2023. The story takes place 3 decades after the events of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Lilith is the main antagonist of the new game, and she seeks to seize power as the forces of demons and angels are weakened. We find out that Lilith and the angel of Aniris are the ones who created Sanctuary and are responsible for the creation of Nephilim. So what is the Diablo 4 gameplay like? Well, taken straight from the wiki, which again I'll link down below, the core formula for the series gameplay revolves around gradually obtaining stronger equipment by defeating increasingly difficult enemies. Enemies are fought using different character class skills, which can be customized by equipment and talent trees. The concept is used to progress through the story and quests. Enemies are split into monster families, which are defined by a theme, combat style, and their location. Each family contains different archetypes that hold different roles, allowing synergies of speciality abilities between family members. The creative director of Diablo 4 explained that the goal was to create a more grounded story than Diablo 3, and in order to achieve this, the plot revolves around the simple folk of Sanctuary rather than the politics, kings, or another high fantasy theme. The playable character's effectiveness in combat is determined by the attributes and the boosts from equipped items. Offensive attributes include attack and critical chance, which increases damage output, and defense stats include elemental resistance and defense, which increase how much damage can be taken. So how much time will you be spending in Diablo 4? Well, I'm at about 30 hours in, and it's a normal sort of like action adventure game. There's main quests, there's side activities to do, loads of side activities to be honest with you, and you're just looking to level yourself up, basically unlock better gear like in any normal RPG game, and make a build around that as well. So if I have a quick look at the map here with you, you can see the map is absolutely huge. There's 5 main areas. Each area has its sort of 100% completion. If we go to Fractured Peaks, which is the first area you're starting, there's 7 waypoints that you got to find, which are like towns and villages, which will also become fast travel points. There's 3 strongholds. These are kind of like the tougher activities within the area, the side activities anyway. You got to complete them to basically view more of the area. There's loads of side missions. There's 35 in this one area alone. There's 76 points of interest that they want you to find. There's 23 dungeons. Dungeons you can see it via this icon here. They're well worth doing because they'll unlock aspects which we'll speak about in a minute. You got to do them. And then there's also some altars that you can find. These altars, if you find them, they are going to give you some stat boost, and there's 28 in this area alone. So by completing everything in that area, it will give you some rewards. If I just press W to view the rewards, you can see in this area so far I've claimed 3 out of the 5. So you do want to complete as much of the area as you can, because you're going to get gold and skill points and potion capacities for that. And once you get to end game, you get some more bonuses as well. You get bonuses per every area on the map. So the main aim of the game really is just to go through the story, go through all the side quests. There's like over 120 dungeons as well that you can do, hundreds of side quests, and it's just leveling up and making your build and character better and completing the main story. We'll go into the skill menu now. Now, there's 5 different classes you can be. I'm currently Rogue, and each character class will have its own skill tree. Up to the first 50 levels, you're going to get skill points to spend on these trees. So I'm currently at level 46, which means I'm nearly at 50, and I've nearly got the maximum skill points to spend here. That reward page I've just shown you, though, do give you additional skill points. And once you've maxed out everything on that and you've 100% of the game, you'll have 60 skill points in total to spend here. You just go through the skill tree and you equip whichever skills that you want that you think it's going to make your character the best it can be. There will obviously be the meta. There'll be videos online about that. I'll cover some videos in the future as well, but play about with it, and you just want to make yourself as strong as possible with the best abilities that the class has. There's so much you can do here, and it's very important. There's a bit of advice from now when you're going through this: try and focus on one thing. Like with the rogue, you could be ranged or you could be up close and personal, and you wouldn't really focus on both of them because you would just not get as powerful as you need to be on both of them. So you'd either focus close quarters or you'd focus range. You really want to synergize your build as you're going through this skill tree, and as you're going through the main story and side quests and dungeons, you're going to be doing that. Another thing that you're going to be picking up is a load of loot, and this is my character menu now. You've got an inventory, so when you're picking up loot, you can see that it's filling out the inventory here, and you can see the items that you currently have on you. If you've played RPGs before, some items do come with like mod slots as well, or gem slots as it is on Diablo 4, which further enhance the build. So you'll have, for example, we've got this corpse dome, which is a rare helmet, and it's got 519 item power at the minute. It gives me 649 armor. It comes with cold resistance, lightning resistance, maximum energy, and with the gem I put on there, I get 70 thorns. So as you're going through and you're picking up loot, you'll be having a look at the item power level. Probably as you're going through the game, you'll be putting the higher item level on, but you'll also be keeping an eye on what stat that piece of armor is giving you, and then with the mods to enhance that as well, you'll be putting on the best mods that you find or gems that you find. You've got the helmet, you've got the torso there, the chest armor, you have gloves, you have pants, and you have boots. You also have a secondary weapon now. I've got the crossbow, you've got main weapons, and you've got some extra stuff like amulets and rings there as well. All these are going to improve your stats, which are here: your attack power, your armor, your life, strength, intelligence, willpower, and dexterity. And you'll be keeping a close eye on the items you put on, as I said, just to make sure you have the best sort of stats equipped that work with your build and your skill points that you're spending. Another thing is when you go on your inventory, you do get something new. It does a good job of showing you if it's any better or not. You can see, for example, here, my pants. I've just picked up some new rare pants, and it's plus 19 on the armor of the pants I'm currently wearing. So if I check that, you can see that's 484 item power level at 484 armor. Well, these new pants are 503 item power with 503 armor, which means they are better pants. Depending on like how much better they are with the item power, will depend on if you swap them because of the perks. So for example, I on this, I've got while injured, my potion also restores 10% resource. I have 72 maximum health, 18 life regeneration while not damaged recently, and plus 9 on all stats, which is pretty decent. Whereas the new pants come with while injured, your potion also grants 20% movement speed. I get 2+ ranks on poison trap if I'm using that, 18 strength, and 8+ all stats. So sometimes, depending on the item power, you might not want to change because you might have some real good stat rolls that you want to keep, and that's the decision you're going to be making as you're going through. But as you're leveling up, you're going to keep on getting better and better power items, and you'll just keep on improving as you go. And at some point, the game is going to start throwing you legendary items which have aspects on them. There's a legendary ring here that I have, and the aspect on this with that orange star there is that I have 8% increased dodge chance versus enemies affected by damage over time effects. Well, that aspect there, if that was like just a rare item, I wouldn't have it. So you're looking for as many of these legendary items as you can get as you head towards the end game, because these are really going to improve your build. With aspects, you can take them off pieces that you're no longer using to then put on other pieces. You can also use dungeons to unlock permanent aspects, which you can put on any piece that you want as well. And as you head towards end game, the game is then going to be more about what build you can make with all of your legendary items, or better if you get better items at that point, and combining those aspects with all of your attributes on your pieces with your skill tree to make the best build possible to then take on the end game content. And that end game content comes in the form of world tiers, and it's when you first complete the main campaign. So when you first start, you can start on world tier 1 or you can start on world tier 2. This just defines the difficulty that you're going to be facing. Obviously, world tier 1 being the easiest, enemies are easy to defeat. I started the game on world tier 2, where enemies are more challenging, monsters give 20% increased experience, and monsters drop 15% more gold. It's for players who desire more of a challenge, levels 1 to 50. But once you complete the game, you unlock Nightmare Mode. So it's unlocked by completing the campaign and Cathedral of Light, Capstone Dungeon in Karstad, and World Tier 2 Veteran. Recommended for levels 50 to 70. And what's new about Nightmare Mode or the Nightmare World Tier is sacred items and unique items can drop. Nightmare sigils can drop that and seal nightmare dungeons. Hell tides can appear across Sanctuary. Champion monsters with damage resistance auras can appear. It basically makes the game more difficult and loads more activities open up. Enemies are more formidable. Monsters give 100% increased experience. Monsters drop 15% more gold. Monsters overcome 20% resistance. And then there's the final world tier 4 Torment, and that's unlocked by completing the Fallen Temple Capstone Dungeon in Northeastern Dry Steppes, World Tier 3 Nightmare. This is recommended for levels 70 plus, and what's new about this world tier is ancestral items and new unique items can drop, and the enemy details are enemies are now more fearsome, monsters give 200% increased experience, monsters drop 15% more gold, and monsters overcome 40% resistance. So there's going to be probably new sort of activities to do there as well, and that is the end game. It's about make yourself even better. Even though the skill points stop at level 50, you can keep on going past level 50 and go all the way to level 150. So your gear's just going to keep on improving and improving. So in endgame, you'll go back through the campaign on the higher difficulty, you'll unlock new items, you'll improve your build, and then once you go on to the torment difficulty, you'll do the same, and you'll do all those new activities that open up as well, which will be much more difficult, and they're going to require you to grind, to level up, to get better items in order to do them. It's worth just looking at the skill tree one more time, because I did mention this stops at 50 and 50 skill points. You get an additional 10 points though through the map rewards, as I mentioned. So you have 60 points spent here, but at level 50 you will unlock the Paragon tree. I haven't been able to do that, but this will be specifically for the end game, and it's going to enable you to enhance your character and your build even more to be able to tackle that tough end game content. And that is all for this video. I hope that I did what I aimed to set out to do. I wanted to give new players to the Diablo franchise an overview of the game, a kind of recap from Diablo 1 all the way back in 1997 to 23, explain what the game was about, and kind of explain what you'll be doing if you pick up Diablo 4 as a new player. It is basically a normal RPG, which if you played RPG games before, you know about leveling systems, you know about builds. It's all that in a top-down format. It's very much a button basher as well at times, and it's so much fun. From a new player's perspective, I'm 30 hours in. I am really enjoying it. It's hard to come off the game right now. I just want to keep on playing it and playing it. It's quite addictive. There is so much to do, so many hours that you're going to put into this game, especially if you want 100% it, but then go into the end game content as well and do all the harder difficulty stuff, grinding out those additional levels all the way to 150, putting a build together at that level to then take on the real tough content. In addition to all of this, there are going to be seasons as well. There'll be like battle passes that you got to go through to get you back coming and playing and giving you loads of rewards. Also, there's just so much, and I imagine if it goes down the lines of Diablo 3 did, there's probably going to be DLC in the future as well. So from a new player to Diablo 4, if you've never played this game before and you are interested in it, I highly recommend getting it. It's well worth the price that it's set at. In the future, obviously, that'll be on sale. If you want to wait till then, wait till then. But I think it's well worth the money. It's a great experience. There's so much time that you're going to be putting into this game if you get into it. And I highly recommend it. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe for more content from myself. And as I said at the very start of the video, we have a community, and this game's very busy in there right now. We have clans, a lot of people willing to help. If you need people to play with, just people to ask questions to, or you need a clan, come and check out the community. It's linked at the top of the video description. Until next time, thank you for watching this one. Stay safe and peace out.